Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanwad Pranam.
Swapna Mata, Hare Krishna, Dhanwad Pranam. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Anyway, devotees will join eventually. We will continue. Rama Chiranjeevi Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dhanwad Pranam, Swapna Mata, Dhanwad Pranam, Shilpa Mata, Dhanwad Pranam. Thank you so much for arranging all these calls, despite Saturday and Sundays. Last time I missed because I was, that issue was there. Suddenly, router disconnected or somehow fell down. Thank you so much. We'll continue. So after a long time, I want to sing this particular song. Very nice song, written by. Recently, we have celebrated disappearance of Jayadeva Goswami. Okay, that song composed by Jayadeva Goswami. That Pralaya Jalo Deepa, the Dashavatara Stotra. Also, he has written. So this one easy song. I think many of you heard this song. We'll start with this. Before with that, let us read meaning of this song. Then we'll continue. I'm just sharing my screen. Okay. So Rama Chiranjeevi Prabhu, please read first two translations. Please read. Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
O pleasurer of the cows, O protector of the cows, O bearer of the finest hair, O husband of the goddess of fortune, you are very merciful to the fallen souls. Second one, you are supremely merciful, O Lord, supremely merciful, O Keshava, O Madhava, O Deenadayal.
Third four, Swapna Mataji. Please read the meaning. Hare Krishna Mataji, are you there? Yeah, please read.
1 second. Yeah.
Three
Wearing
and four.
bright yellow garments and a peacock feather upon your crown, you play the flute and make it sing the name of Radha. 4. You are the cowherd boy that gives great delight. O Lord, the cowherd boy that gives great delight. O Keshava, O Madhava, O Deenadayal. Hare Krishna.
Fifth one, Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You take away our fear of being trapped on the wheel of repeated birth and death in the material world, and you are the splendorous killer of demon Madhu, the destroyer of all tribulations. You are the supreme resting place for all the souls. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna is the protector for everybody. Hare Krishna. So we'll do this. Meditate upon, this is one particular meditation. This one, if you see, one day, Srila Jayadeva Goswami, while working on Gita Govinda Jayadeva, is Gita Govinda, there is a Bhaja Govinda, that also there, Shankaracharya. This one, Gita Govinda Jayadeva, felt inspired to write. Krishna bows down to touch the lotus feet of Srimad Radharani. Highest mellows, we see Radha Bhava Sudalita, Krishna Swarupam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced the joy of Srimad Radharani's love towards Krishna. This one, in our parampara, Brahma of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is one of the Acharya. Jayadeva was hesitant to say something which might diminish Lord Krishna's position, the Supreme Personality of God. In the image, Krishna is holding the lotus feet of Srimad Radharani. That is what it is, We'll continue this song. You are able to hear my voice clear, right? Okay, na? Clear ఉంది కదా Mataji?
Yes, 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 Prabhu.
Okay. Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya. Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya. Dinadaya Prabhu, Dinadaya, Dinadaya Prabhu, Dinadaya. Dinadaya Prabhu, Dinadaya, Dinadaya Prabhu, Dinadaya. Tumi Param Dayal Prabhu, Paramadayal, Paramadayal Prabhu, Paramadayal. Keshava Madhava, Dinadayal, Keshava Madhava, Dinadayal. Keshava Madhava, Dinadayal, Keshava Madhava, Dinadayal. Gita Basana Pari, Mayure Rasadari, Murale Revani Tule, Bole Radhana. Gita Basana Pari, Mayure Rasadari, Murale Vani Tule, Bole Radhana. Keshava Madhava, Dina Daya, Keshava Madhava, Dina Daya. Tumi Madhe Gopala Prabhu, Madhe Gopala. Tumi Madhe Gopala Prabhu, Madhe Gopala. Keshava Madhava Dinadaya, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya. Keshava Madhava Dinadaya, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya. Vabhaya Bhajana, Vimadhusudana, Vipada Bhajana, Vimadhaya. Vabhaya Bhajana, Vimadhusudana, Vipada Bhajana, Vimadhaya. Keshava Madhava Dinadaya, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya. Keshava Madhava Dinadaya, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya. Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya. Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Keshava Madhava Dinadaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shridev Jayadeva Goswami, Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Keshava Madhava, O Dinadayal. Dinadayal means he is going to the savior for fallen souls. Dina Dayal, fallen souls. You are merciful to the fallen souls. Okay. You are a cowherd boy that gives great delight. Oh Lord, the cowherd boy that gives great delight. Mukeshava Madhava Dinadayal. Last, the destroyer of all tribulations. Manmanabha Madbhakta Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Krishna is assuring us when we give our mind to Krishna, Krishna will take care of us. Krishna is good. He will come to me. I mean, surely you will come to me. Krishna is promising us. Okay. So these are the acharyas. Their mood replicate in these songs, remembering Krishna. Our life is to meant for always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Like that we have to mold our life. Always remember Krishna, never forgets. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So we'll continue with this. Okay. Before reading, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, there is beautiful verse I want to share here. Just a second. Yeah. Ekantalabam vachaso nupumsam suslokamaulergunamadamahu Shruteshta vidvad kata sudhayam upasampramayogam. Kata sudhayam upasampram yogam. So what is here? This particular verse found in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 6th chapter, 37 verse. The highest perfectional gain of humanity is to engage in discussions of the activities and glories of the pious actor. Such activities are so nicely arranged in writing by the greatly learned sages that the actual purpose of the ear is served just by being near them. Prabhupada writes some lines in the purport I just captured. These transcendental activities of the Lord are so arranged in writing by the great sages that simply by hearing of these narrations, one becomes perfectly self-realized. And the proper use of the ear and the tongue is also achieved while hearing. Shravanam starts with Shravanam, right? Srimad Bhagavatam is one of such great literatures. The highest perfectional state of life is attained simply by hearing and reciting its contents. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes in this, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Satya Kabunoi, Shavanadi Sunicheva Kare Uday. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Satya. It's a dormant state in our life, in our heart. By regularly reciting, regularly reading, hearing, chanting, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Satya Shavanadi Sunicheva. So first start with Shravanam and Kirtanam, chanting, remembering. Okay, so thank you so much. With this mode, we'll spend good time here in Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we are discussing about Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, 9th canto, 9th chapter, entitled as The Dynasty of Amshuman. I have given these verses, 1 to 25 verses. Okay, so we'll discuss. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Krishna is the lover of Radha. He displays many amorous pastimes in the groves of Vrindavana. He is the lover of the cowherd maidens of Raja and the holder of great hill named Govardhana, Girivaradhari. Yashodhanandana Bhajajanandana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira. He is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the delight of the inhabitants of Raja, and he wanders in the forest along the banks of the river Yamuna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. जय ओम विष्णु भगवान परम अभयचरण भक्त शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्रीधरदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णे सधामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलौ नष्टदृशं येषा पुराणार्कोऽधुनोदितः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये। We share the words here. Verse text, translation, and purports. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Liberation, Chapter 9, the dynasty of Amshuman. First, let us recite one verse and we'll continue there. Okay. So, Sri Shuka Uvacha. Okay, first verse. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Hamso mamscha tapastepe Ganga Nayana Kamyaya Kalam Mahantam Nashaknot Tata Kalena Samstitaha. Hamsho mamscha tapastepe Ganga Nayana Kamaya Kalam Mahantam Nashaknot Tata Kalena Samstita. Hamshumaamscha tapastepe Ganga Nayana Kamyaya Kalam Mahantam Nashaknot Tata Kalena Samstita. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sukadeva Goswami continued. King Amshuman, like his grandfather, performed austerities for a very long time. Nonetheless, he could not bring the Ganges to this material world, and thereafter in due course of time, he died. So this is the particular pastime. You see here how Ganga Mata come to this earthly planet. Bhagirata Prayatnam. We see in my childhood, Bhagirata Prayatnam. There is one lesson in our childhood, which class I forgot exactly. Bhagirata Prayatnam. So that's where from Bhagavatam is teaching us these pastimes. So we'll continue. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप सदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पाञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परमानंद माधवम श्री चैतन्यमीश्वरम। ओम अपवित्र पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थमगतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं सबाह्याभ्यन्तरं श्री विष्णु and श्री विष्णु। ओम तद्विष्णु परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयो दिवि वा चक्षुराततं सद्विप्रास विपन्यो जागृहं ससमिन्दते विष्णुं यत् परमं पदम्। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you very much, devotees. In the beginning, I just seen only 4 devotees. Let me see who are there. Brahmaramba Mata, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Lavanya, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Lilananda Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Subbarao Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Satyadev Prabhu, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Hare
much for
Krishna
spending
Prabhu,
time.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. Remembering, Bhagavatam class means gratitude. remembering, and all of our Siksha Gurus, Diksha Guru, remembering my Guru Maharaj, Idolina Maharaj, and many Siksha Gurus. And here in this Gachibowli Satsang, whatever best of our ability, capability serving, little minute, little. Lilananda Prabhu, thank you so much for your guidance for all of us. Mataji, thank you so much. And yeah. So let us discuss today Srimad Bhagavatam 9th
Oh,
canto,
Hare
9th
Krishna,
chapter.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Very happy to see you, Prabhu.
I'm attending anyway, but wherever I am, at least I'm attending here. Not feeling separation, at least being in there. Zoom calls, I'm always there.
We are feeling your separation, Prabhu. Please come back.
So, yes, I wanted to do. He said, no, bro, definitely, bro, definitely. I'll come.
Hare Krishna. We'll
Whatever
talk,
best.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Krishna
much.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Pranam. Yeah. Okay. So this is before discussion, this 9th chapter. What exactly is lineage? I know the 9th chapter mostly talks about the descendants of Vaivasvata Manu. Okay. If you see, we have one nice Bhagavatam tree. Let me share quickly once, and then I'll come back to this PDF. We are hearing about this past times, Vaivasvata Manu and descendants of Vaivasvata Manu. We see, if you look at this, okay, if you see these past times, yesterday we have gone through, Pavan Prabhu so nicely explained about the, discussions between Sagara and Lord Kapiladev. Very nice, everything addressing Supreme Lord, whatever aspects, so nice. Those verses, I have gone through it. So if you see, these descendants of Vaivasvataman, if you see here, now in the 8th chapter, it talks about Rohita. These are the personalities there, and Rohita and some descendants, and Sagara, and then Amshuman. If you see, that's where this chapter is, the dynasty of the Amshuman. We see these personalities in this chapter. We see, and Bhagirath and some descendants, and Katvanga, and from there, if you see Dasharatha, Lakshmana, Lord Ramachandra, and other sons, and Ramachandra, Lava, Kusha. We see this is a nice family tree described here. So let me see. Yeah. So this particular 8th and 9th chapter talks about these personalities. Okay, so that's where connection. How they. So we know Manus. The who is that Manu? How they, when they appear. If we see, there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahmaji. They are the time frame we all know. Kali Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga. By combination of all these 4 yugas, 4.32 million. Like that 1000 Chatru Yuga one day. These are numbers. 14 Manus one day from Brahmaji. Such Manu, Vaivasvata Manu is appeared there. And then those descendants we see. Every Manu lives for almost times equal to 71 Chatru Yuga. So that's where, this thing. Last time also, a long back, I have given, I got an opportunity to spend time on future Manus. I think 8th canto, I forgot exactly the chapter. There we have gone through different Manus. Vaivasvata Manu. Just remember that, how is this lineage. And in 8th chapter, 9th chapter, we see so many, personalities' names because it's historical evidence. Bhagavatam is not, many people, misinterpreted outside world, mythology, myth. It's not myth. Prabhupada always says that it's historical events, time immemorial. Bhagavatam is eternal. It happened. It is happening, Nitya Lila, every time. Okay, so that's where the connection is like that. So if you see yesterday, just quickly, these are the points I just made it from Prabhupada's summary, just quickly. See, 8th chapter descendants of Rohita are described. That's where, we see, Rohita, Vaivasvatamanu, Rohita, and see, and there, Rohita described in the dynasty Rohita, there was a king named Sagara, especially that's where the sons of Sagara meet Lord Kapila. That's where Amshuman, basically Amshuman, if you see again. The son of Rohita was known as Harita, the son of Harita was Champa. Just going through quickly the names of these personalities who constructed a township as known as Champapuri, and then son of Champa was Sudeva, different personalities given. We have seen. Sudeva was the son of Sudeva was Vijaya, and Vijaya was the son of Vijaya was Bharuka, and the son of Bharuka was Vrika. And Bahuka, the son of Vrika, was greatly disturbed by his enemies. Actually, this is the beauty of Srila Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam, translation and purports. So nice. Every chapter he has given the brief summary what is exactly there in this in this set of number of verses. So that's where we understood what is exactly the overall context of this particular chapter. So that's why I captured this one. Okay. So was greatly disturbed by his enemies, and therefore he left home with his wife and went to the forest. When he died there, what happened? His wife wanted to accept the principles of Sati. Sati is how she wants to, went into fire with her husband. But when she was about to die, a sage named Aurva found that she was pregnant and forbade her to do so. It's not correct way to do the Sati Sahagamana. Not that way. As a baby inside in her womb. That's not correct. So that's where Aura Muni helped here. The co-wives of this wife of Bahua gave her poison with her food, but still her son was born with the poison. The son was therefore named Sagara. Okay, Sa means with, and Gara means poison. Following the instructions of the great sage Aurva, King Sagara performed many clans, including the Yavanas, Shakas, Hayas, and Barbaras. So if you see, these are different kind of personalities we see. So those perform many clans, including these are the different clans, Yavanas, Mlechas, we see, right? Different personalities like that. The king did not kill them. But reformed them. Then again, following the instructions of Aurva, the king Sagara performed Ashwamedha sacrifices, but the horse needed for such a sacrifice was stolen by Indra. Here also, we see our dear Indra, because of the pride. Indra means pride and envy. All the qualities. Indra, Garvam, Swargaraju, right? King of heavenly planets, the king of heaven. King Sagara had two wives, the named Sumati and Kesini. While searching for the heart, the sons of Sumati extensively dug up to the surface of the earth and in this way dug a trench, which later became known as the Sagara Ocean. Thus digging to find out this. In the course of this search, they came upon the great personality Kapiladev and thought him to have stolen the earth. With this offensive understanding, they attacked him and were all burned to ashes. Because he's the supreme personality of God, Lord Vishnu himself. Kesini, the second wife of King Sagara, had a son named Asamanjasa, whose son Amshuman later searched for the horse and delivered his uncles. Upon approaching Kapiladev, Amsuman saw both the horse meant for sacrifice and pile of ashes. So he found that. Amsuman offered prayers to Kapiladev. That's where the section, very nice, 5-6 verses there, glorifying Supreme Lord, who was very pleased by his prayers and who returned the horse. After getting back the horse, however, Amsuman still stood before Kapiladeva, and Kapiladeva could understand that Amsuman was praying for the deliverance of his forefathers. Thus, Kapiladeva offered the instruction that they could be delivered by water from the Ganges. That's where the connection for the next chapter, 9th chapter, how will be Krishna is giving the instruction, yes, you do this way, then they will be delivered, that's the thing. Could be delivered by water from the Ganges. Amshuman then offered respectful obeisance to Kapiladeva, circumambulated him, and left that place with horse for sacrifice. When King Sagara finished his yajna, he handed over the kingdom to Amshuman and followed the advice of Aurva and attained salvation. So ultimately, handed over these kingdoms to descendants, and then they continue their personal self-realization or salvation for this conditioned state of life, right? So that's the thing. So this is the connection, that's where in this 9th chapter we see the Bhagirata Prayatna, how they come, how Ganges comes in this material world. There's a chapter entitled The Dynasty of Amshuman. Okay, what is saying Prabhupada? This chapter describes the history of the dynasty of Amshuman up to Khatvanga. That's where we see, if we are Khatvanga, this chapter, that's where we see descendants of Vaivasvata Manu. Okay, And it also describes how Bhagirath brought the water of the Ganges to this earth. The son of Maharaja Amshuman was Dilipa. Dilipa is Amshuman's son, who tried to bring the Ganges to this world. Who is trying? Amshuma, Dilipa, the son of Maharaja Amshuma. But who died without success? Without success. Bhagiratha, the son of Dilipa, again. That means Amshuman's grandchildren. Bhagiratha, the son of Dilipa, was determined to bring the Ganges to the material world. And for this purpose, why he have to? Because there is a, Krishna only instructed that, you need to bring them, they will get delivered. That's the thing. Forefather, deliverance of his forefathers. Okay. And here, Mother Ganges, being fully satisfied by his austerities, whose austerities? Bhagiratha, made herself visible to him, wanting to give him a benediction. Bhagiratha then asked her to deliver his forefathers. And who is delivering forefathers? If you see, back to from Bhagiratha, then Dilipa, then Sagara, Dilipa and Amshuman, then Sagara, these are forefathers. Mother Ganges, that's where. Although Mother Ganges agreed to come down to earth, she made two conditions. What are they? First, she wanted some suitable male to be able to control her waves. Second, although all sinful men would be freed from sinful reactions by bathing in the Ganges, Mother Ganges did not want to keep all the sinful reactions. These two conditions were subject matter for consideration. Bhagiratha replied to Mother Ganges. What he said? Bhagiratha replied to Mother Ganges. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva, will be completely able to control the waves of your water. And when pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions left by sinful men will be counteracted. So Bhagiratha then performed austerities to satisfy Lord Shiva, who is called Ashutosha, easily giving benedictions, right? Because he is naturally satisfied very easily, Lord Shiva agreed to Bhagiratha's proposal to check the force of the waves of the Ganges. In this way, simply by the touch of the Ganges, Bhagiratha's forefathers were delivered and allowed to go to the heavenly planets. This is there. So actually, entire chapter is described, and we will just go through with translation some points from Prabhupada. That's why I'm just emphasizing on this particular description given by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, in this chapter beginning, we'll get to know. So I'm requesting any one devotee to read some points here. So please go ahead and start reading some points in continuation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Mata Hare Krishna.
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
From the first point, Nijana, Prabhuji.
They already I have read Mataji, and from here you read.
Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam 9.9, the dynasty of Anshuman. The son of Bhagiratha was Shruta. The son of Shruta was Nabha, and Nabha's son was Sindhudvipa. The son of Sindhudvipa was Ayutayu, and the son of Ayutayu was Rituparna, who was a friend of Nala. Rituparna gave Nala the art of gambling and learned from him the art of Ashwavidya. The son of Rituparna was known as Sarvakama. The son of Sarvakama was Sudasa, and his son was Saudasa. The wife of Saudasa was named Damayanti or Madayanti, and Saudasa was also known as Kalmashapada. Because of some defect in his fruitive activity, Saudasa was cursed by Vashishta to become a Rakshasa. While walking through the forest, he saw a Brahmana engaged in sex with his wife, and because he had become a Rakshasa, he wanted to devour the Brahmana. Although the Brahmana's wife pleaded with him in many ways, Saudasa devoured the Brahmana, and the wife therefore cursed him, saying, "As soon as you engage in sex life, you will die." After 12 years, therefore, even though Saudasa was released from the curse of Vashishta Muni, he remained sonless. At that time, with Saudasa's permission, Vashishta impregnated Saudasa's wife, Madayanti, because Madayanti bore the child for many years, but still could not give birth. Vashishta stuck her abdomen with a stone, and thus a son was born. The son was named Ashmaka. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. So, dynasty of Amshuman means how he started. Amshuman, if you see Amshuman, and then here, the son of Amshuman was Dilipa, and Dilipa's son was Bhagiratha, the descendants, But Bhagiratha, after, performed tapasya, he got benediction. Lord Shiva is pleased, and Bhagiratha, the Ganges water, flown to this earthly planet. So next section is talks about another descendants in the same lineage. That's where different names we see here. Yeah. So that's where you mentioned here. Actually, all this whatever Prabhupada written in the description from the translation, from the verses only. After he read completely, he has given the brief description. If we read translations also, we see all these names. That's why I don't want to go again. We will continue this quick translations also. Okay. So this is one last description is there. Okay, please, anyone wants to read? Please go ahead.
Prabhu.
Satyadev Prabhuji, please continue.
Dynasty of Anshuman. Translations by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The son of Ashmaka was known as Balika. He was protected from the curse of Parasurama because of the being surrounded by many women, and therefore he is also known as Narikavacha. Okay. When the entire world was devoid of Kshatriyas, he became the original father of the more Kshatriyas. He is therefore sometimes called Mau Maula Maulaka.
Mulaka.
Mulaka. From Balika, Dashratha was born. From Dashratha came the what is that, Prabhuji?
Aidavati. Aidavidi.
Aidavidi, and from Aidavidi came the Vishwasaha. The son of Vishwasaha was Maharaja Katwanga. Maharaja Katwanga joined the demigods in fighting the demons and was victorious. And the demigods therefore wanted to give him a benediction. But when the king inquired how long he would live and understood that his life would last only few seconds more, he immediately left the heavenly planets and returned to his own abode by airplane. He could understand that everything is in this material world is insignificant, and thus he fully engaged in the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hare Krishna.
As far as I know, only two personalities got death notification. Who are they? Death notification.
Parikshit
Parikshit
Katwanga.
Maharaj and Khatwanga.
Parikshit Maharaj Katwanga. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's personalities. Okay. So that's where in this particular chapter we see all these personalities, and that's where in the beginning I have shown you, right. So this is where in this some descendants as mentioned, Rohita, some descendants, and Bhagiratha, some descendants. This chapter explains, right, different personalities. Okay, and up to Katwanga. So let us continue directly to Prabhupada. Just quickly read. I have completed this description. Next, first verse I have gone through it. Let us continue. Just pretty straightforward personalities names. Okay, that's where it's historical events, historical personalities. It's there in that Vaivaswatamanu, in that time frame. Its purport is enabled. Let me see. Okay, translation as well. Purport enabled. Okay. We'll continue text 2 since we started with text 1. Now, let me just quickly read. Sukadeva Goswami continued. This conversation between Parikshit Maharaj is asking questions. All these descendants he wants to know. That's where 8th canto and 9th canto explaining about the other Manus. In the beginning Swayambhu Manu we have seen. And here he wants to know more about how these lineages, how these other Manus ruled this world that time. So Sukadeva Goswami continued, King Amshuman, like his grandfather, performed ostrich for a long time. Nonetheless, he could not bring the Ganges to this material world, and therefore, in due course of time, he died. So second verse, I will chant. Then anybody, please read translations. Everybody, please read translations. Unmute yourself and continue. 25 verses only, but I have given overall chapter, idea from Prabhupada's chapter summary. I just put it in the slides and share. So say text 2, let me recite and read translation. Then let us take some points from Prabhupada purports. Okay. Okay. Dilipastadsutasttadvat asakta kalameviyan bhagiratastasya sutas tepe sa sumahatava. Now we see whatever Prabhupada mentioned in the description we found in the verses. Okay. Next, please continue. Anybody wants to read translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll read.
Yeah, please.
Translation self-purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Like Anshuman himself, Dilipa, his son, was unable to bring the Ganges to this material world, and he also became a victim of death in due course of time. Then Dilipa's son, Bhagiratha, performed very severe austerities to bring the Ganges to this material world.
Hare Krishna. Victim of death. Prabhupada, victim of death in due course of time. So everybody has to face. So this king also. Kala Sarpam. Time is taken away because time is devouring everything, right? Sarvaras Chaham. Material world means time. Time means it is going to take away all of our everything because our body, material body. We are experiencing ages means time factor is there. That's fair. Text 3. Darshayam ashatam devi prasanna varadasmite ityuktasvam abhiprayam samsa sasamasvanato nrupa sasamasavano nrupa. Please read translation.
I will read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Translation. Thereafter, Mother Ganges appeared before King Bhagiratha and said, I am very much satisfied with your austerities and I am now prepared to give you benedictions as you desire. Being thus addressed by Ganga Devi, Mother Ganges, the king bowed his head before her and explained his desire.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Successful meditation, successful austerities. Mother Ganges giving benedictions. Next, what is here? Prabhupada read. The king's desire was to deliver his forefathers. Krishna's instruction, right? Who had been burned to ashes because of disrespecting Kapila Muni. That's a problem. Okay. Text 4. Kopi dharayita vegam patantya me mahitale anyata bhutalam bitva rupayasye rasatalam. Rasatalam. Yeah, correct. Please read translation. Hare Krishna. Whoever not done, please read, no? Lavanya Haripal, you there?
Yeah, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, next Madhuri Mataji. Okay, Lavanya, go ahead. Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, Madhuri Mataji, continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Translation. Mother Ganges replied, when I fall from the sky to the surface of the planet Earth, the water will certainly be very forceful. Who will sustain that force? If I am not sustained, I shall pierce the surface of Earth and go down to Rasatala, the Patala area of the universe.
See? Surface, flow, so much forceful, the water. Gangamata. Text 5. Kim chaham na bhuvam yasye naramayam mrujantyagam mrujami tadagam kvaham rajam statra vichintyatam. Go ahead, Lavanya. Haribol.
Yeah. Translation and translation by
Purport
A.C.
also there.
Bhaktivedanta.
Yeah, purport also there. Yeah, continue, please. Okay.
By A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. O King, I do not wish to go down to the planet Earth, for there are people in general will bathe in my water to cleanse themselves for the reactions of their sinful deeds. When all these sinful reactions accumulate in me, how shall I become free from them? You must consider this very carefully. Purport.
Burden of sinful burden. Okay.
The Supreme Personality of God said, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. It's from Bhagavad Gita 18.66. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can accept the reactions of anyone's sinful deeds and neutralize them because he is Pavitra, pure, like the sun, which is never contaminated by any worldly infection. Teji sayam na doshaya vane sarva bhujo yata. It's from Bhagavatam 10.33.29. One who is very powerful is not affected by any sinful activity. But here we see that Mother Ganges fears being burdened with the
Burdened.
sin burdens with the sins of the people in general who would bathe in her waters. This indicates that no one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is able to neutralize the reactions of sinful deeds, whether one's own or those of others. Sometimes the spiritual master, after accepting a disciple, must take charge of the disciple's past sinful activities and being overloaded must sometimes suffer. It's not fully, then partially for the sinful acts of the disciple. Every disciple, every disciple, therefore, must be very careful not to commit any sinful activities after initiation. The poor spiritual master is kind and merciful enough to accept a disciple and partially suffer for that disciple's sinful activities. But Krishna, being merciful to his servant, neutralizes the reactions of sinful deeds for the servant who engages in preaching his glories. Even Mother Ganges feared the sinful reactions of the people in general and was anxious about
Anxious.
how and was anxious about how she could contract the burden of these sins. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Sarvadharman Parityajam Amekam Sharanam. Only Krishna is going to take all this burden of sinful reactions, sinful activities. So here one point Prabhupada mentioned, Bhagavatam Tejiyasam Naidoshaya Vanne Sarva Bhujoyata. So what exactly is there in this? Let us just read the translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, this is found in 10th canto, 33rd chapter and 29 verse. The very confidential pastime of Rasa Leela dance. The status of powerful controls is not harmed by any apparently audacious transgression of morality we may see in them, for they are just like fire, which devours everything fed it and remains unpolluted. Because Om Apavitra Pavitra, we see that one, right? When we recite Om Apavitra Pavitra, Sarva Vastangatu Pivai, whatever situation, when we associate with Krishna, what happens? We become pure. Our consciousness become pure, whether externally or internally, because that much power is there in the Supreme Lord's holy name and the Lord Himself, because He is the only caretaker for all of us, right? And for all of us, He is only get rid of all of our sins when we surrender to Krishna. Immediately, Prabhupada remembered this verse. Burden, sinful reactions accumulate in me. Ganga Mata's feelings to Bhagirath. That's where Prabhupada is a beautiful purpose. So that's why one important lesson, every disciple, therefore, the Guru is taking care of. Guru is, whatever activities, Guru also suffers. That's where, it's a lesson. We have to conduct our life very carefully. Initiation means it's not a kind of, you get new name and you become, officially, as a disciple of one Guru, and, you can call your name and you become like that. But ultimately, you need to carefully execute devotional service. Think about it, all this. These are the things. Every disciple therefore must be very careful not to commit sinful activities after initiation. And Prabhupada mentioned immediately another point. Krishna is being merciful to his servant. His servant means the Guru. Guru partially, suffering the disciples' sins. But Krishna is merciful to that spiritual master. Okay, I will take care of it. Don't worry, I will take care. Like that. But Krishna is being merciful to his servant, neutralize the reactions of sinful deeds for the servant who engages in preaching his glories. Guru is always preaching, right? Everywhere he is always trying to give this knowledge and try to give knowledge as well as become make them devotees, practice this bhakti yoga. That's where. So Mother Ganges feared the sinful reaction of the people in general, anxious about how she could encounter burden. So next verse, Sri Bhagirata Uvacha. What is saying now? Bhagirata conversation. Okay. Sadhavo Nyasina Santa Brahmhista Loka Pavana Arantyagam Tenga Sangat Te Swaste Hyagha Vid Dharihi. Please read. Translation. Please read. What is Bhagirata is saying here? After he heard from Ganga Mata, sinful reactions, how can I burden all this? That's very. Please read. Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I read it? Or somebody else can read who is not read?
Anybody? Hare Krishna? Rama
Prabhuji,
Chiranjeevi Prabhu.
yes, I
మీరు
will read.
చదవండి Prabhu. Next మీరు చదువుతున్నారు. Okay, yeah.
Bhagirath said, those who are saintly because of devotional service and are therefore in a renounced order, free from material desires, and who are pure devotees, expert in following the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas, are always glorious and pure in behavior and are able to deliver all fallen souls. When such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted, for such devotees always keep in the core of their hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can vanquish all sinful reactions.
Thank you, Babu. Beautiful verse, huh? Beautifully explaining, your devotees, pure devotees, when they bathe in Ganges, in the water. What he's saying here, such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted, because they always keep Krishna in their heart and always they are renounced in everything, materialistic activities, free from material desires, pure devotees, following regulative principles, always glorious and pure in behavior, and deliver all balances. That's why he's mentioning. So Prabhupada, the purport is there, very big purport. You want to read Mataji, Hare Krishna? Deepa Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mother Ganges is available to everyone for bathing. Therefore, not only will sinful persons bathe in the Ganges water, but in Haridwar and other holy places where the Ganges flows, saintly persons and devotees will also bathe in the waters of the Ganges. Devotees and saintly persons advanced in the renounced order can deliver even the Ganges. Tirthi Kuruvanti Tirthani Swantasthena Gadabhrita. Bhagavatam 1.13.10. Because saintly devotees always keep the Lord within the core of their hearts, they can perfectly cleanse the holy places of all sinful reactions. Therefore, people in general must always respectfully honor saintly persons. It is ordered that as soon as one sees a Vaishnava or even a sannyasi, one should immediately offer respects to such a holy man. If one forgets to show respect in this way, one must observe a fast for that day. This is Vedic injunction. One must be extremely careful to refrain from committing offenses at the lotus feet of a devotee or saintly person. There are methods of prayashchitta or atonement, but they are inadequate to cleanse one of sinful reactions. One can be cleansed of sinful reactions only by devotional service, as stated in regard to the history of Ajamila. केचित् केवलया भक्त्या वासुदेवपरायणा अघं धुन्वन्ति कार्त्स्येन निहारम् इव भास्करः. Only a rare person who has adopted a complete unalloyed devotion service to Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, just as sun can immediately dissipate fog by its rays. Bhagavatam 6.1.15. If one is under the protection of a devotee and sincerely renders service unto him, by this process of bhakti yoga, one is certainly able to counteract all sinful reactions. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. See, one important verse Prabhupada mentioned here, Ajamila fasting. Unalloyed devotional service. Only a rare person, Krishna system. Bahunam Janmanamante, Kyanaman Prabhuti, Vasudevam Sarvamiti, So Mahatma, Sudirlava. That rare person is a Mahatma. He surrendered everything to Krishna. Because that verse, Sarvadharman Parityaja, everything, complete surrender, full surrender. Etama Prapadyante, Krishna is in the Bhagavad Gita, accordingly I will reward. If you 100% complete fully, Krishna will take care, Krishna won't he take care? He definitely take care 100%. So those kind of persons, what he's saying, approved, can uproot because their unalloyed devotion service. And that much power. Prabhupada mentioned here one point, you see. Devotees and saintly person advanced in the renounced order can deliver even the Ganges also. And that Bhagavatam verse, remember, Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swantastena Gadabhrata. Saintly person always keep Lord within the core of their hearts and perfectly cleanse the holy place. So that's there. And this is even important, no? Show respects to a Vaishnava sannyasi or Vaishnavas. If you're not respecting, obeisances to the, Vaishnava or, sannyasis, what is saying, Prabhupada? One must observe a fast for the day. That is Vedic injunction. That's why we have to be careful in our Vaishnava etiquette. Very well. So Prayashchitta verse means this is a verse, atonement, remembering Krishna all the time, practicing Bhakti Yoga, unallied devotion. Many verses in the nectar of devotion we see Anya Bilashita Shunyam Gyana Karma Anavritam Anukulina Krishna Shilanam. What is that? Rishikena Rishikeya Sevanam Bhakti Sarva Upadi Bhaktam. Tatparitvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikeya. Engaging our senses at the lotus feet of Krishna means no question of sins. Simple formula. But how to engage that matters. How that's very important thing. What is another verse? Atha Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indre Swayavan Mukhe Jivada Swayam Yeva Sprutyada. Rupa Goswami teachings, Bhakti Yoga. What is unallied devotional service? So Bhagavatam point. Just text 7. Dharayishyasti Tevegam Rudrastvatma Sharirinam Yasminotam Idam Protam Vishwam Sativa Tantusu. Let me read this translation. Purport also. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Like a cloth woven of threads extending for its length and breadth, this entire universe in all its latitude and longitude. Google Maps. These two things, right? Latitude and longitude. Is situated under, see, everything, whatever we see in the science, the source, if we carefully look at, source of knowledge come from Krishna only. In all its latitude and longitude, it's situated under different potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of the Lord. What avatara? We know. Different avatars. Purusha avatara, Guna avatara. Lord Shiva is Guna avatara, controller of the mode of ignorance. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of the Lord, and thus he represents the super soul in the embodied soul. He represents the super soul in the embodied. He can sustain your forceful waves on his head. So Lord Shiva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead devotee. Vaishnava Vita Shambhu. He is always meditating upon Supreme Lord in his heart. Purport: the water of the Ganges is supposed to rest on the head of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is an incarnation of Supreme Personality of God who sustains the entire universe by different potencies. Lord Shiva is described in the Brahma Samhita 5.45. Kshiram yatadati vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahi tata pratak asiteto yasam bhutam apitata samupai te karyat govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. That example, right? Milk curd example we see. Milk changes into yogurt when mixed with a yogurt culture. But actually, yogurt is constitutionally nothing but milk. Similarly, Govinda, Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes the form of Lord Shiva for the special purpose of material transactions. I offer my obeisance at Lord Govinda's lotus feet. Lord Shiva, Supreme Personality of Godhead, in same sense that yogurt is also milk, although at the same time it is not milk. Transformation, but original source is Krishna. You see, unless milk is there, how yogurt is going to get? From milk only it gets, right? From Krishna only, this Guna Avataras came. Different avatars, 6 types we know, right? Purusha Avatara, Guna Avatara, Lila Avatara, Manvantara Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Shakti Avesha Avatara. For the maintenance of the material world, there are 3 incarnations: Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is Vishnu in an incarnation for the mode of ignorance. The material world exists predominantly in the mode of ignorance. That's why bodily condition, bodily state, condition, life means ignorant only, right? Ignorance. That's why Prakrute guna karmani, what is that? Ahankara vimudatva kartaham iti manyate. You see, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Ahankara. Ahankara is ignorance only, right? Ahankara. False ego is an ignorance. Therefore, Lord Shiva is compared here to the longitude and latitude of the entire universe, which resembles a cloth woven of threads extending for both its length and breadth. So that's where, how he is going to sustain the incessant flow of this, forceful flow of these Ganges waters. That's why Ganga Devi resides on his head, right? Okay. Text 8. Iti yukta san rupo devam tapasato saya shivam kalenalpiya sa rajams tasye sa atushyata Anybody wants to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Complete.
you can read.
Mataji, continue, please. Yeah.
Translation. After saying this, Bhagirathi satisfied Lord Shiva by performing austerities. O King Parikshit, Lord Shiva was very quickly satisfied with Bhagiratha. Purport. The words Ashva Atyusyata indicate that Lord Shiva was satisfied very soon. Therefore, another name of Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. Materialistic persons become attached to Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva bestows benedictions upon anyone and everyone very quickly, not caring to know how his devotees prosper or suffer. Although materialistic persons know that material happiness is nothing but another side of suffering, they want it and get it. Very quickly, they worship Lord Shiva. We find that materialists are generally devotees of many demigods, especially Lord Shiva and Mother Durga. They do not actually want spiritual happiness, for it almost unknown to them. But if one is serious about being happily spiritually, he must take shelter of Lord Vishnu, as the Lord personally demands. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasya ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Bhagavad Gita 18.66.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this is the thing. Materialists, devotees of many demigods, especially Prabhupada mentioned Lord Shiva and Mother Durga, and Ashutosha, Lord Shiva's name. One word is used here: Asvatushyata, Asvatushyata, satisfied very soon. But Prabhupada mentioned, material happiness is nothing but another side of happiness. They get some benedictions from Lord Shiva, but that too satisfying material body only, until this material world only, up to this material world only. They are unknown to this spiritual happiness. They satisfy their material desires by performing, worship to Durga Mata and Lord Shiva, but they don't know about what is real happiness, spiritual happiness. That's why again Prabhupada remembered, this was Sarvadharman Parityaja. Text 9, Tateti Rajnya Bihitam Sarvaloka Shiva. Very nice verse. Sarvaloka Shiva Dadhara Vahito Gangam Padaputa Jalam Hare. Please read. Just translation. Anyone? Continue, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
I'll read
Bhushan
it.
Pillai.
Madhya Rama Chiranjeevi Prabhu. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Anyone? Please.
Translation. When King Bhagirath approached Lord Shiva and requested him to sustain the forceful waves of Ganges, Lord Shiva accepted the proposal by saying, "Let it be so." Then, with great attention, he sustained the Ganges on his head, for the water of the Ganges is purified, having emanated from the source of Lord Vishnu. Thank you, Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he is holding Ganga Mata on his head. That's the verse. Text 10. Bhagirata Sarajashir Ninye Bhuvana Pavanim Yatra Swa Pitrunam Deha Ambasmim Bhuta Sma Serate. Read Prabhu. Chiranjeevi Prabhu.
The
Hare
great and
Krishna.
saintly king
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Bhagirath brought the Ganges, which can deliver all the fallen souls, to that place on the earth where the bodies of his forefathers lay burnt to ashes.
Okay. Thank you. Fresh straightforward. Saintly King Bhagirath brought the Ganges, which can deliver all the fallen souls, especially his forefathers, to that place on earth where the bodies of his forefathers lay burnt to ashes. Okay. Text 11. Ratena Vayu Vegena Prayantam Anudhavati Deshan Punante Nirdagdhan Asinchat Sagaratmajan. Hare Krishna.
I will
Read
read
this one also,
Prabhuji.
bro. Yeah, Mataji. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Bhagiratha mounted a swift chariot and drove before Mother Ganges, who followed him, purifying many countries, until they reached the ashes of Bhagiratha's forefathers, the sons of Sagara, who were thus sprinkled with water from the Ganges.
Hari Bol. Krishna. The Sagara works, the sprinkle with water from the Ganges. So they delivered. Text 12. This one also you read, Mataji. 1 second.
Okay,
Let me recite. Yajjala sparsha matrena ब्रह्मदण्डाहता अपि सागरात्मजा दिवं जग्मु केवलं देहभास्मभिः. Yeah, right.
Because the sons of Sagar Maharaja had offended a great personality, the heat of their bodies had increased and they were burnt to ashes. But simply by being sprinkled with water from the Ganges, all of them became eligible to go to the heavenly planets. When what then is to be said of those who use the water of Mother Ganges to worship her? Purport?
Next we'll see. Yeah, purport. Yeah, continue. Yeah. Yes, Mother.
Yes, Prabhu. Mother Ganges is worshipped by the water of the Ganges. A devotee takes a little water from the Ganges and offers it back to the Ganges. When the devotee takes the water, Mother Ganges does not lose anything. And when the water is offered back, Mother Ganges does not increase. But in this way, the worshipper of the Ganges is benefited. Similarly, a devotee of the Lord offers the Lord Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, a leaf, flower, fruit, or water in great devotion, but everything, including the leaf, flower, fruit, and water, belongs to the Lord, and therefore there is nothing to renounce or to accept. One must simply take advantage of the bhakti process, because by following this process, one does not lose anything, but one gains the favor of the Supreme Person. Hare Krishna.
Last statement. One does not.
Okay, Prabhu. One does not lose anything, but one gains the favor of the Supreme Person.
When we do Bhakti Yoga process, Bhakti process, following this process, gaining only, no losing actually, because we say that this one, right? Increasing our bank balance, spiritual bank balance, eternal bank account. No decreasing. I mean, the material bank account, money will go away.
Yeah, Neha Vikramanashosti.
Pratyavanamide. Swalpam little service increasing your eternal bank balance. Swalpam dharma se trayato mahato bhayat. Hare Krishna. So this is where takes little water from Ganges and offers back to Ganges. In this way, what happened? It does not increase by giving the water. Taking the water and giving means what he is saying here. But in this way, the worshipper of the Ganges is benefited. I immediately provided the Pratham Pushpam Phalam Toyam from Bhagavad Gita. Text 13. Let us spend another 15 minutes duty. Sorry, and then we'll see how many verses we can. I think Bhagirath Prayatnam done. Ganga Mata is situated on Lord Shiva's lotus head. That spot done mostly, and remaining part is descendants of Anshuman. That's where the chapter is all about, right? Let us see. A few more verses and we can wrap up. Basmi Bhutanga Sangena Swaryata Sagaratmaja Kim Puna Shraddaya Devim Sevante Ye Dritavrata. You want to read Lavanya? Go ahead.
Translation: simply by having water from the Ganges come in contact with the ashes of their burnt bodies, the sons of Sagar Maharaja were elevated to the heavenly planets. Therefore, it is to be said of a devotee who worships Mother Ganges faithfully with a determined vow. Okay? One
Yeah.
can only imagine the benefit that accrues to such a devotee.
See, every water when we perform deity worship or all of our devotional activities, when we enter into temple, first we purify water, right? Achamana, Vaishnava, Achamana, then purifying Gangecha, Yamanecha, Godavari. Start with Ganga Mata, right? So that's where we do. In the benefit of the Ganga Mata water, sprinkle, then forefathers delivered means how much powerful. Holy river. Okay. Nehetyat param ashcharyam Swardunya yadi hoditam Ananta charana boja prasutaya bhavachida. Okay. Anybody wants to do small purport there and verse translation?
I will read.
Yeah.
I will read.
Yes. I'm looking for you actually. Yeah.
Translation purpose because Mother Ganges emanates from the lotus toe of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anantadeva, she is able to liberate one from material bondage. Therefore, whatever is described herewith about her is not at all wonderful.
Hare Krishna. See, మీరు చదువు purport కూడా, but one word see Ananta charanam boja. It's come from toes. toe of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, that's where Anantadeva is able to liberate one from material bondage. Whatever discovery here with about her is not at all wonderful. So let us see what Prabhupada is written. Continue, bro.
Perfect. It has actually been seen that anyone who regularly worships Mother Ganges simply by bathing in her water keeps very good health and gradually becomes a devotee of the Lord. This is the effect of bathing in the water of the Ganges. Bathing in the Ganges is recommended in all Vedic Shastras, and one who takes to this path will certainly be completely freed from all sinful reactions. The practical example of this is that the sons of the Maharaja Sagara went to the heavenly planets when water from the Ganges merely touched the ashes of their burnt bodies. Hare
Very
Krishna.
good. See, that's where if we have an opportunity to bathe in Ganges water, that's very good. But if we don't have opportunity, just by mantra, Ganga Mata will be there in the water. Right? That's where Gange Yamune Chaiva, all the holy rivers. So that's where that's power of holy water, Ganga Mata's water. Okay, text 15. Sanniveshamanusesmin Shraddhaya Munayo Mala Traigunyam Dustyajam Hitva Sadyo Yatas Tadatmatam. Only words translation there. Anyone? Whoever not done, can you please help? I have seen some more devotees. Let me see. Anushri Acharji, Hare Krishna Mataji. You want to read
Hare
this
Krishna
particular?
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Great sages, completely freed from material lusty desires, devote their minds fully to the service of the Lord. Such persons are liberated from material bondage without difficulty, and they become transcendentally situated, acquiring the spiritual quality of the Lord. This is the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. So nice one. Sannivesha Mano Yasmin Shraddhaya Munayo Mala Traigunyam Dustyajam Hitva Sadhyo Yatas Tadatmanam. Great sages, nothing but pure devotees, completely free from lusty desires, devote their minds fully to service of the Lord. Manmanabhava Madbhakto. Krishna says that. Madhyajimam Namaskuru. 2 times he said. Madhyajimam Namaskuru. Mamevas Yuktaivam Atmanam Madparayana. Manmanabhava Madbhakto. Madhyajimam Namaskuru. Mamevas Satyam Te Pratijana Priya. Guaranteed. When we give our mind fully to Krishna, Krishna is going to take care. I promise you, he is giving promise actually. Krishna is giving promise. But when we use our mind in Krishna, basically our senses using in Krishna service, there is a guarantee. That's where we have to. All the great sages means nothing but pure devotees. Such persons are liberated from material bondage. Nothing without difficulty. They cross over this. Because Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo, their mind at the lotus feet of Supreme. They become transcendentally situated, acquiring the spiritual quality. What is the spiritual quality of the Lord? Anybody? This point, what is that? Acquiring the spiritual quality. They think about the body. They get away from this. Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit soul. This spirit soul is connected to Krishna, and that's where the spiritual quality is all about, right? What is the same oneness? Krishna is having same Sachidananda Vigraha. Our inside in our body, the soul also having the same quality. It's oneness, Sachidananda Vigraha. So that's where spiritual quality of the Lord. That means understanding the soul concept. Body is temporary, soul is eternal. The soul is connected to Krishna. That's where rendering service to Krishna. So that get rid of this material bondage. This is the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Text 16 and 17. Let us continue until 25 verses there. I think we will conclude until 18 Matadi. Then there is a context there. From text 19 onwards, what is there? Remaining descendants of Anshuman. Okay. So we'll stop at 18. Then we will on the time. Just 15 minutes more. Okay. Let us read a few more verses. I will stop. Text 16 and 17. Shruto Bhagirata Jnane Tasya Nabo Paro Bhavat Sindhu Dvipas Tatastasmad Ayutayus Tato Bhavat Rutuparno Nala Sako Yoshva Vidyam Ayan Nalat Datvaksha Hrudayam Chasmai Sarvakamastu Tutatsutam. So whoever not done, can you please help in reading here, please? Let me see. Okay, is this? Santosh Aditya Prabhu, Dhanava Pranam, Hari Bol. Are you able to read? Are you available? Subbarao Prabhu and Santosh Aditya Prabhu. I think remaining everybody got a chance to read.
No, I'm on a cell phone, Prabhu, so I'm not able to see it.
Acha. Okay. And then one more Prabhu. Santosh Aditya Prabhuji. Okay, maybe he'll come back. Anyway. You read. Okay, read.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagirath had a son named Shruta, whose son was Nabha. This son was different from the Nabha previously described. Nabha had a son named Sindhudvipa. From Sindhudvipa came Ayutayu, and from Ayutayu came Rutuparna, who became a friend of Nalaraja. Rutuparna taught Nalaraja the art of gambling, and Nalaraja gave Rutuparna lessons in controlling and maintaining horses. The son of Rutuparna was Sarvakama.
Hare Krishna. Continue.
Gambling is an art. Kshatriyas are allowed to exhibit talent in this art of gambling. By the grace of Krishna, the Pandavas lost everything by gambling and were deprived of their kingdom, wife, family, and home because they were not expert in gambling art. In other words, a devotee may not be expert in materialistic activities. It is therefore advised in the Shastras that materialistic activities are not allowed at all or all suitable for living entities, especially the devotees. A devotee should therefore be satisfied to eat whatever is sent as a prasada by the Supreme Lord. A devotee remains pure because he does not take a sinful activities such as gambling, intoxication, meat eating, and illicit sex. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada mentioned, the gambling ante Uttam, nicely written. Kshatriyas, gambling is also an art. Kshatriyas, as an art of God, exhibit talent in the art of gambling. That's where Prabhupada writes here. By the grace of Krishna, they lost because they are devotees, right? They don't know how to play. That's where the Pandavas lost everything by gambling and were deprived of their everything, kingdom, wife, family, home, because they were not expert in the gambling art. In other words, devotee may not expert in materialistic activities. It is therefore advised in the Shastra that material activities are not suitable. Suitable for materialist, not suitable for devotees. Suitable. Prabhupada, nice words used in English language. Not suitable for devotees, suitable for materialists. Especially eating, sleeping, mating. Vipada Pashu. What is the thing? Prasada, Prabhupada, I say, devotee should be therefore satisfied. Whatever he gets as a prasada. Remains pure. Maintain a pure state of life, by following regulating principles. Sinful life means, this is the definition of sinful life, satyam, saucham, tapa, and karuna, losing, gambling, intoxication, eating, and illicit sex. 18th verse, we will stop. Okay, this is done. Last verse, let me recite. Tata sudas tatputro damayanti patenrupa ahur saham yam vai klama sangrim uta kvachit vasishta sapad raksho bhud anapatya swakarmana. So, in this previous verse, the descendants of Bhagirath explained. All the names we see in this particular verse. These two verses describing about the descendants of Bhagirath, we see. And then Prabhupada mentioned about the Kshatriya gambling is there, regard the heart, etc., etc. That's we see. Text 18, what is saying? Let me read this translation. Sarvakarma had a son named Sudasa, whose son, known as Saudasa, was the husband of Damayanti. Saudasa is sometimes known as Mitrasaha or Kalmasapada. Because of his own misdeed, Mitrasaha was sonless and was cursed by Vasishta to become a man-eater, Rakshasa. So, Raja Uvasa, then let me, actually, 2021, Sri Sukadev Goswami is telling that context. Let me complete this one also, 19. So Let me. Sri Raja Uvacha. Who is Raja? King Parikshit. Okay, he's asking by knowing all these various descendants and Bhagirath Prayatna and Sagara, Lord Kapila, all this, he's getting this knowledge because he asked. He heard from Sukadeva Goswami. So now what he's asking here, King Parikshit, we'll stop with this. Sri Raja Uvacha, Kim Nimitto Guru Sapa Sauda Sasya Mahatmana Etad Veditum Ichama Katyatam Naraho Yadi. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Parikshit said, O Sukadeva Goswami, why did Vashishta, the spiritual master of Saudasa, curse the great soul? I wish to know of this. If it is not a confidential matter, please describe it to me. So we'll stop here. Let us continue. Just one time I want to show again. So in this Prabhupada description, so we have completed until this particular verse. Okay. We see remaining the Sana Bhagirath, that this part is now going on. So remaining verses, next week, one of our devotee will pick it up. Okay, so that's what we learned here. Prabhupada always mentions, devotees always having loving devotional service to Krishna. Only transaction is bhakti. Bhagavan, Bhakta, and Bhakti. 3, right? 3B, we say 3B. 2G, 4G, we see 4G, just like in our Bhakti we talk about 3B. What are 3B? Bhagavan and Bhakta. In between, transaction is unallied devotional service, Bhakti. Right? That's what I want to share here today with this chapter 9.9, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9.9 chapter, Descendants of Anshuman. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Anybody wants to share anything or add anything, corrections, welcome. Dandavat pranams again. Yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Somebody lower hand.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for your presence. Your presence is blessing, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Prabhu, don't say like that. Sorry, I'm actually driving somewhere and hearing.
No. Why sorry, Prabhu? Your presence makes a lot of difference. Thank you so much. Okay. Anybody who likes to share? This is a pretty straightforward. All the personalities, their names we are seeing in the verses. Descendants. That's why the chapter itself. Prabhupada, see, why Prabhupada entitled each chapter like that? Because the more verse context, what it describes, he put the title like that. We see so many descendants of Ayushman. That's where he put the title, the dynasty of Ayushman. We see Bhagirath, his son, his sons and his grandfather. We see that personalities. Yeah. And Prabhupada in between added the nuggets of pure devotional service. In between, Sarvadharman Parichate 2 times he recited. He quoted in the purports. Sinful reactions. Mother Ganga Devi expressed, how can I burden? Then Bhagirath prayed into Supreme Lord, Lord Shiva, to take care of the incessant flow, and that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, it's 8:30. You all have various services in communities. Again,
Prabhu.
Prabhu, చెప్పండి.
రవి, ఒక డౌట్ ఇప్పుడు ఇది అంటే ఇట్లా గంగా మాత తోటి సిన్ఫుల్ యాక్టివిటీస్ అన్ని పోగొట్టుకోవడం అనేది ఇస్ ఇట్ మెటీరియల్ విష్ ఆర్ స్పిరిచువల్ విష్ అనుకోవాలా?
స్పిరిట్ డివోటీస్ ఉల్టా ఇప్పుడు మన వర్స్లో చదివింది ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు of course the materialistic way at least starts with some sinful they feeling, right? Materialist కొంచెం వాళ్ళ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఎట్లా రావాలి, గంగాదేవులము గంగా స్నానం చేస్తే పాపాలన్నీ పోతాయి అని ఉంటది కదా ప్రభు. అది కాన్సెప్ట్ ఈస్ గుడ్ ఫర్ ద బిగినింగ్, ఇట్స్ ఓకే. మరి ఇప్పుడు పాపాలు చేసి ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఏనుగు దుమ్ములోనే మళ్ళీ పోతుంది స్నానం చేసి, అట్లా అయితే ఏం లాభం కాదు కదా. బట్ డివోటీస్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఈజ్ వేరే కదా ప్రభు. డివోటీస్ ముడిగిన ఎందుకు ulta, that's where Bhagirath is saying, when your pure devotees to Supreme Lord, they always keep their heart with Supreme Lord. When they dig in the holy water, the Ganges, ulta the sins, the accumulated sins counteracted. Prabhupada mentioned that counteracted. అవర్ డివోటీస్ కాన్షియస్నెస్ డిఫరెంట్, మెటీరియల్ కాన్షియస్నెస్ డిఫరెంట్ ప్రభు. మనం చాలా మంది మెటీరియల్ చూసేది ఏం ప్రభు. గంగాలో స్నానం చేస్తే పోతే మళ్ళీ బయటకు వచ్చినాక మళ్ళీ కదా ఏనుగు కథ.
కరెక్ట్ ప్రభుజీ. అంటే భగీరథ హ్యాస్ డన్, ఇంత ప్రయత్నం చేశాడు. భగీరథ ప్రయత్నం అని మీరు అన్నారు ఇందాక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కూడా. ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు ఏదైనా చేస్తుంటే దాన్ని భగీరథ ప్రయత్నం అంటారు కదా.
అంటే బాగా తపస్సు చేసింది కాబట్టి లార్డ్ శివ బెస్ట్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ దట్.
తెలంగాణ వాళ్ళు కూడా మిషన్ భగీరథ, నీళ్లు తీసుకురావడానికి అంతా మిషన్ భగీరథ అని పేరు పెట్టారు.
భగీరథ ప్రయత్నం అంటే కష్టపడాడు. బట్ అట్లీస్ట్ ఎందుకనే పర్ఫార్మ్ చేసిండు? బికాస్ హీ వాంట్స్ టు డెలివర్ హిస్ 4 fathers. గంగా మాత బికాస్ లార్డ్ కపిలదేవ ఈస్ గివెన్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్. బికాస్ ఆయన మామూలు పర్సన్ అనుకుని ఆయన అఫెండ్ చేసి అది చేసేసరికి ఏం చేసిండు? కృష్ణుడే కదా ఆయన. లార్డ్ కపిలదేవ ఇట్లా బర్న్ అయిపోయింది, మొత్తం బాడీలోంచి హీట్ వచ్చి బర్న్ అయిపోయి యాషెస్ అయిపోయి అట్లా పడి ఉన్నారు. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ గంగా వాటర్ జల్లగానే ఏమైంది మొత్తం అంటే గో బ్యాక్ నాట్ బ్యాక్ కాదు, దే గెట్ అనదర్ లెవెల్ ఆఫ్ బాడీ సిచ్యువేటెడ్ ఇన్ హెవెన్లీ ప్లానెట్స్. అది కథ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభుజీ.
కృష్ణ. ఓకే, హ్యాపీ. సో యూ స్పెండ్ విత్ కృష్ణ. ఓకే, Bhagavatam means we are with Krishna, non-different from Krishna. Krishna and Bhagavatam, it is that's where this verse I want to share. Then we will conclude with this. This beautiful verse. Recently I started reciting before beginning Bhagavatam class. What is this? Please repeat after me, na once. Krishna Swadhama Upagate. Please repeat, na please. Krishna Swadhama Upagate. Everybody. Krishna Swadhama Upagate.
Krishna Swadhama Upagate.
Dharma Jnana Adibhisaha.
Dharma Jnana Adibhisaha.
Dharma Jnana Adibhisaha.
Dharma Jnana Adibhisaha.
Kalau Nastadrisham Yesha.
Kalau Nastadrisham Yesha.
Kalau Nastadrisham Yesha.
Kalau Nastadrisham Yesha.
Puranarko Dhunoditaha. Puranarko Dhunoditaha. One devotee, please read translation.
This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana.
Bhagavatam is torchbearer for fallen conditions souls. That gives no difference. Right after he left from this, disappeared from this planet, he has given this knowledge. No difference actually. Accompanied by real knowledge and real intelligence, real knowledge and real religion, knowledge. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness, Kali Yuga, dense darkness, hypocrisy, quarrel, because of the age of darkness. In the age of Kali, shall get light from this Purana. Krishna mananu veligistadu Bhagavatam dwara. We become associated with Krishna and devotees. Thank you so much. We'll stop here. Thank you so much. We'll continue next week. Mataji, please note, I have completed until this context only, Mataji. I mean, remaining part, it is like this. Let me share. We stopped until
18th verse.
9.9.19. Okay? అన్ని 9లే ఉన్నాయి, 3 9లు ఉన్నాయి. 9.9.19. And one more thing, actually, yesterday I have gone through this chapter. It's been 9.8. The Amshuman is nicely prayed Supreme Lord. Let me directly show something. So you read your personal reading. Okay, these verses so nice. The remembering the Krishna's position, meditating upon him, and so good. Anshuman said it. Anshuman said. Said. Okay, 21 నుంచి ఉన్నాయి యాక్చువల్గా. టెక్స్ట్ 21 onwards nicely glorified. Amshuman Uvacha, okay, is a prayers to Supreme Lord. But is so nice. From 21 to 9.8.21 to 9.8.26 వరకు 26 వరకు superly glorified Supreme Lord, Please, it's for your personal reading. 9.8.21 to 26. Please read for yourself. Very nicely glorified Supreme Lord. Lord Kapiladeva here in this first time. 21 to 26. Only 6-7 verses. Okay. Please read. Go ahead. And Bhagavan Uvacha, what is saying? Gangambo Rantine Tarat. That's why we see in the next chapter. No? Gangambo Rantine Tarat. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Lord Kapiladeva. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll stop here now. Have a nice Krishna conscious day. Sunday evening program is there, I think, in the Bhakti Center. Lilananda Prabhu is going to talk. Okay, Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaurari Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And with pranam.
Hare Krishna. Shilpa Mata, Hare Krishna. Okay, I think I can stop. Let me. I can also stop. Are you sure you want to stop regarding to the cloud?